So here today topic, homeopathy protocol for COVID patients management and practical approach. We have heard so many things about COVID patients treatment in every pathy, not only homeopathy. You must have heard about allopathy, you must have heard about Ayurvedic, you must have about so many other things also. Nowadays the WhatsApps are circulating viral methylene blue and so many other things. But we don't have a concrete and 100% shot in any pathy. Still we are struggling. So today I am going to share what I faced in my practice. So many difficulties, so many hurdles, so many failures and success. And then I made my own protocol where homeopathy can help and where homeopathy cannot help, or you have to rely on other system of medicines, right? So again I'm telling you, I may differ from others, but I will share each and everything with you, and I'm sure that today after this webinar you will have some idea that what homeopathy can do and when we should rely on other pathies. So first of all, I like to tribute this webinar specially dedicated to individuals who lost their lives to COVID-19. It is a very pathetic condition. We have lost many our dear and dear ones, but we are very helpless. So today, with a very heavy heart, we have to dedicate this webinar to individuals who lost their lives in COVID-19. Now, these webinars will cover certain topics. COVID-19 updates, diagnosis criteria. You all people know much more than me, but then also we are revising today because the topic we have selected. Then homeopathic perspectives in COVID, the most important. Protocol for patients management, cases, important rubrics, various stages remedies, and nosals in COVID treatment. This much we have to learn when we have selected this topic. So many things you must be knowing and you must be aware of. Now this coronavirus caused due to new type of coronavirus called serious acute respiratory syndrome. So for a short result, the best method is to do individualization and PQRS totality of particulars with frequent repetition of doses. Here I may differ from others. I feel patients should recover quickly, rapidly. That is our mission. You may require repetitions frequently. At the end, close the case with miasmatic intercurrent medicines. Most common symptoms, we all know: fever, dry cough, tiredness. If any two also, you should think about COVID in pandemic situation. Patient बताएगा सर बॉडी एक हो रहा है, लिटिल कफ है. Body ache is very important. If the fever with body ache, then also you should think. Dry cough and tiredness, then also you should think. Less common symptoms we have observed: pains, sore throat, diarrhea, conjunctivitis, headache, loss of taste or smell, rashes. The one patient recently after COVID, she recovered rashes all over the body. So that is a post-COVID complications. Serious symptoms: difficulty breathing or shortness of breath, chest pain और pressure. पेशेंट बताएगा बहुत हेवी लग रहा है. Loss of speech. These are the serious symptoms. The first few days you may not have these symptoms, but then after some days patient may develop complications. Now, diagnostic criteria. We all know sometimes our patient know much more than us because of the Google. Just recently, I will tell you, just yesterday, sweeper who called me and told me that, sir, my relative got fever and we have done RT-PCR. And now we are thinking to where we should take him for the chest CT, HRCT. See, the sweeper who does not know about any medical profession, who is telling me that RT-PCR is positive, so please look at and tell me that the count is showing that it's a heavy infection. So such things nowadays so common. So sometimes we will be very much impressed that how it possible. So clinical features: fever, fatigue, dry cough, dyspnea, myalgia, breathlessness. If you have this many features or any 2 or 3 features strong, you should advise blood test. Because RT-PCR takes some time. It takes 72 hours or sometimes they give 48 hours also. Before that, if you want to know that patient is have a suspected COVID symptoms are there, so go for CBC and CRP, basic blood test. If CRP raised, lymphocyte is low, your patient supposed to 70 to 80% chances they have a COVID positive. So meanwhile, you can isolate them. You can take the precautions so other family members should not get. That is our intention. We are not rely on lymphocytes or CRP. We are rely on symptoms. I agree fully. But how to manage at home, that is very important. Sometimes patients say, why don't you go for a blood test? Start the treatment and we are feeling that there's something is odd and COVID patient is there and the family members is also COVID positive. So supposed to, but how to behave? So COVID behavior, restrictions, everything is important in management. It's not like that only our medicines, but complete rest, isolation is a part of treatment. I will share all the cases so you will come to know. So CRP raise, ESR raise, and then after 3 or 4 days, you can advise for D-dimer, prothrombin, and creatine, and the other test, IL-6 and all the things. First 1 or 2 days, it may not come high. Sometimes CRP is also not showing high levels. But then the lymphocyte is low, the possibility is there. So rapid antigen RT-PCR definitely helps to diagnose. RT-PCR, sure, if it is positive, then 3 or 4 days onwards, to confirm more pathology, you can advise HRCT. Sometimes patients directly go for HRCT and then they come to us in the first day. As soon as the fever starts, they go to the HRCT by their own self. Nowadays it's very common. So they go and then they come with a normal report and they will be very happy. Sir, I don't have any chest infection, but in the first day, it may not be affected your lungs. It takes some time, 3 or 4 days. Rarely in the first day, or the person who has not faced any symptoms of COVID, but after 2 or 3 days, they have a chest involved. So these are the diagnostic criteria very well. So I'm not going into detail of that. Now the most important part of ours is a homeopathic perspectives in a COVID. This chart will help you to understand where we are and which way we can help our patients. You see, 80% patients are mild and moderate and last symptoms for 7 to 10 days at home. And then after 3 to 10 days more, and usually between 10 to 14 days, they recover. 80% patients recover. This is most important. 20% symptomatic patients require hospitalization. And usually 8 to 10 days after first symptoms, these patients usually recover in a 7 to 14 days after entering in the hospital. Out of 20, 85% recover. Listen carefully. 80% is completely mild and moderate recover. Out of 15, 85% patients recovered. 15% of this 20, hospitalization is required in ICU. And from that 15, 35 to 50% patients released from ICU. They recovered. They went into critical condition and they recovered. Whatever the pathy, whether it's allopathy, whether combined allopathy and homeopathy or whatever. But 50 to 65% patients will not recover and they succumb. They collapse. Whatever treatment you give, whether they have a comorbidity, have more chances of complications. So we are helpless over here. So out of 15, 50 to 65% patients collapse. So here, this area, we have a scope, the treatment of patients. Here, this area is very scope we have. With homeopathy, only mild to moderate. out of 20%, still we have a scope. And ICU patients, it depend on so many things that I'm going to share with you. So many doctors in a group are asking that, sir, we are facing a lot of difficulty in treating in ICU. But why? I had also a lot of struggle. So that we are also going to discuss. So we have to work on these things also. We have to work on these cases also. But here we require support of all people. Here you are not reliable on anybody, not dependent on, sorry, not dependent on it. Sorry to say you that after 10 minutes, this session will be over. So you are requested to rejoin for another 45 minutes because it's a free Zoom we have. So we have to join after 45. So you will be disconnected after 10 minutes. And then again, you have to rejoin with me. So this is the exact situation what we are facing. Now, this is my protocol. Everybody is interested in this, that what we can do, homeopathy management point of view. So mild cases, you can treat at home only with homeopathy. Moderate cases, at home only with homeopathy. Moderate at home with a comorbidity require allopathy medicines. I am very honest and very frank. So many cases I have failure also. I will share with that also. I don't mind if I'm not able to treat certain patients and I have to refer to the physicians. But that also you will accept. You will learn from your mistakes. Severe cases, hospitalization required, where you can give homeopathy and allopathy combined because you are dependent on them. Hospital management not allow many times to allopathy. Then hospital, severe cases, critical cases in ICU, allopathy with homeopathy if they allowed in ICU. The most important if they allow. And the last is post-COVID complications at home with only homeopathy. So this is my protocol, mild, moderate, severe, and post-COVID cases. Mild, you can treat at home with homeopathy. Moderate, with homeopathy only. Can treat a comorbidity. You have to give allopathy. A patient is suffering from hypertension, diabetes, and so many other things. And severe case require combined therapy. ICU is also required combined therapy. So first we will discuss cases mild. Here, one student of final year have a symptom of body ache and fever. Immediately she rang me. She told me that I have these symptoms. I told, please go for CBC and CRP. Just listen in her own
Myself,
word.
Nidhi Tamboli. I am final year medical student and I am strongly believing in homeopathy. So today on World Homeopathic Day, I really like to share my experience of corona treatment with homeopathy only. So I am COVID positive patient and today it's my ninth day of home quarantine. So before 9 days, my symptoms were like severe body ache, headache, leg cramps, fever with chills, and in my lab investigations, my lymphocyte counts were so low, CRP value raised, and my RT-PCR report also came positive with high viral load, and CT value was 1718. So immediately I started taking treatment from my sir, Dr. Ronak Shah, and gradually everything is improved. And since 5 days there is no fever, no body ache, no leg pain, no headache. In general, I am feeling much better. And for this, I have not taken any other allopathic treatment. I recovered totally from homeopathic medicine only, and till today I am taking homeopathic medicine only. In my lab investigations, after 5 days, lymphocyte count and CRP value came normal, and hemoglobin value also raised. So I am very happy that I recovered very fast with homeopathy only. Thanks to homeopathy and thanks to my sir Dr. Ronak Shah, who has given me right treatment and advice on right time. Thank you so much.
So this is the case on a 9 day she had a video to me, and she was completely all right without taking any allopathy. Even she has not taken a dolo. I really give credit to her and her family members who has a faith in homeopathy, and they have not consulted anybody. And the same day, from the first day to till the 14th day, only homeopathy. So first day the lymphocyte was low, and then after the CT value was on the higher side, and after fifth day the recovery complete, and the 9th day was much better. And she said that is why on the World Homeopathy Day she has given a gift to me, so that this is the things happened and I was recovered completely. So the credit goes to her only. Now why this case has recovered so fast? You won't believe, in a third or fourth day the improvement has started, and then since the 5 days she had no fever. The rubric was taken in this case. The most important thing is how you manage, how you take the case. She is a homeopath, so she is very good in giving the history. She was very dull. All the videos of that also we have, because we were calling every day video consultation. That also you should keep in your mind. Whenever you are treating such patient, you should do video call every day and take the data every day, all the temperature, oxygen situations in a pulse, everything you should take every day and then call every day. So dullness with headache, dullness with sleepiness, quite prostration. Still then the 9th day the face was not that much fresh, but then also she could have given. Then thirstlessness during fever, continuous fever, fever with chill was there, and the influenza, the pain in muscles. So many medicines were there, but the gelsemium was ranking very high. And with the experience, we came to know that this is the case of typical gelsemium. I've given a gelsemium with the frequent doses. Every 3 hourly gelsemium 200 was given, and I was sure that she will recover completely. Sometimes you will have so much confidence after taking totality and matching with the drug that this is the medicine and will act. And sometimes you are never confident because you will not get the symptoms properly from the patients. And even though given the patient symptoms properly, you are not able to find out the right remedy. So that happened. That happened even after so many years of experience, also happened with every homeopath, right? So this is a case of gelsemium. Now other rubrics I generally takes in my COVID patients. Influenza beginning very slowly. This is influenza. Gelsemium is one of the remedies. And I have seen, if one person suffering from the COVID, one patient suffering in a family, then remaining others may suffer. So if you want to protect them, give the same medicine, because we have seen in many cases the one remedy is helping in the one patient, the same medicine is helping into other family member. So either you can give as a prophylactic also, and if the symptoms develop, that same medicine is helped. That also I will share with you in other cases. Right? Now, what you have to learn today in a gelsemium. So always mild case of fever with a dullness and body ache is there. Marked prostration with muscular weakness and lack of muscular coordination. Confused state and muscle refuses to obey the will. I'm sharing my own case. Just I was coming from college. I had a weakness, not feeling well. Immediately I went to laboratory and advise to them to do my CRP and CDS. And I also given RT-PCR. In the evening, the report came, lymphocyte was low. So I was suspecting that I'm suffering from COVID. Isolate immediately after the laboratory, myself in the room. And then I just wanted to lie down. I don't want to do anything, doesn't want to speak anybody. I have told myself, you won't believe, I started Gelsemium 200. Recovery taken place so beautifully that in the evening, when the fever came, around out 100 degrees, didn't have anything. As soon as I take the Gelsemium, within a 30 to 45 minutes, fever came down with a sweating. And I was very sure that this is my medicines. After 3 days, up to 3 days, the fever was coming and going. I was taking Gelsemium 200 6 hourly. And the 5th day, I have taken a lecture online also. And my CT value was very high, 20, 21. So everybody was in the family was so much frightful. And my son is an MBBS doctor. He told, you can't do like this. You should start immediately allopathy medicines. I said, no. Let me experience my own self. Then I can tell to my patient that you stick to homeopathy only. He was behind me. If anybody in your family is allopathic doctors and you are homeopathy, always the conflicts will be there. So what I like to share with you, if remedy is right and you have catch properly and manage properly, it worked fantastically. The first time I have seen that within a 30 minutes to 45 minutes after taking Gelsemium, the fever came down normally without any antibiotic. So that is the case of Gelsemium. Now another case, so mild with homeopathy only at home. Other patients. This is a lady of 65 years old, consulted on 1st August 2020 with all family members were positive. She had a low-grade fever, coughing deep, aggravated at night, dry coughing, no expectoration, breathlessness while coughing, chest pain occasional, and thirst less but required. Takes warm water, regular stool and appetite normal. But she was so hopeful. Video consultation. Every patient is on video consultation, you all know. She was telling, डॉक्टर साहब मुझे कोई चिंता नहीं है, मुझे कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. In spite of her own son and husband, both were in hospital, multi-specialist hospital. She was telling, सर मुझे कुछ होने वाला नहीं है, मैं अच्छी हो जाऊंगी, मुझे कोई तकलीफ नहीं होने की, मैं रिकवर हो गई. ये तो फ्लू के सिम्टम्स है, मुझे मालूम है. In spite of diabetes, she has and blood pressure, all comorbidity. Taken the symptoms, very much hopeful for recovery. Very few patients you will get such type of conversation when the whole family is COVID and the two people are in the family at hospital, and she was so much confident, hopeful. That is the most important for me. Chest pain, cough during warm desire, drinks this emulation, cough deep, cough dry night, line aggravation, and respiration difficult, cough during. These are all common symptoms there. We have Repatrise, Lyco, Nux, Vedatum, Spongia, Sepia, Arsenicus. We are confused what to give. Limited data, you cannot examine You cannot more take the history also. Then we had seen so many patients. Nobody was so hopeful. I'm really thankful to all my assistants because you all people are also treating COVID patients. So many doctors are today in a webinar. But this is all of your teamwork. You have to keep all recording. You have to repertorize. This is not easy. This for webinar also, we are working for last 15 days. We have so many patients, but the record keeping, synchronizing, presentations, everything is counts. So you require team. So I'm very much thankful for all my past and present assistants who are helping me, working in day and night with me. So here, very hopeful. And just we have seen, we have all the time tendency to see what the Vitulka's expert system suggests. Let me see, what is the harm in checking? So the remedy was coming really high was a sanguinaria. We use sanguinaria in a rheumatism, sometimes in a cough also. But in a COVID, I have never used. Hopeful was what very important for me. Remaining symptoms were not covering at all. Then also I've taken a risk. Let me, because I'm very much convinced that this is the most important individual symptoms, PQRS symptoms in such conditions, lady of 65 years with a comorbidity, not at all lost hope and very much confident. There was no fear, no fright. So we have started sanguinaria 200 TDS a day. So much better, no coughing. Same medicine was continuing. And the next day, fever 2 times, and last night, in the morning, she has taken Dolo. We told many times to our patients, don't take antipyretic even in a low-grade fever. But then also the patients will not listen many times. So during fever, she wants to lie down, sleeplessness, thirstlessness, constipations. Coughing was much better, appetite normal, O2 level 97, fasting 96. Still, she was very much hopeful about the recovery and confident. I have given her 1 dose of sulfur and sanguinaria 200 BD and ferrum 66. Next day on 7th, much better. No fever, no coughing. Acidity, heaviness of abdomen, stool frequent, and O2 96. Still general wants to lie down. We have continued sanguinaria and ferrum was on 10th. We had a call. She was much better and convert. So that was a lady, old lady with a comorbidity, mild symptoms treated with only. Now is sulfur. I use sulfur in initial stages or for clearing up the final patches in the lungs. If you learn the Boger's, borderline pneumonia, it will abort many cases if given in time. That is very important. Keynotes, redness and burning, case not responding so well with other remedies. Just recently, 1 month before, small child, 2 years old child, came with a high grade fever. They have called to the pediatrician, definitely. So, patient has called pediatrician, and the patient had told the pediatrician that previous night she had a low grade fever. We have given a paracetamol, and then now she is landed with a high grade fever, 101, 102. So, pediatrician told, please bring child, and we would like to check whether suffering from COVID or not. Parents, बहुत घबरा गए. They call me. Would you take her case and like to treat homeopathy? Because ये लोग बता रहे हैं कि कोविड पॉसिबिलिटी है और हमको हॉस्पिटल जाना नहीं है. हॉस्पिटल में बहुत सारे पेशेंट्स हैं. I don't know, okay. We've taken the totality, given a prescriptions. Next day, there was no fever. But not to relapse. Again, I have given a sulfur one dose. Till today, the patient has not come. So dry, offensive mouth with thirst, especially left-sided pneumonia, and the morning aggravations, morning diarrhea, patient very peaceful and happy dreams. You should think about sulfur. Now, important rubrics. Inflammation, lungs, old people, Aconite, Ferrum Phos, and Merxol given. If there is a history of chill in a cold, dry air, and the fever followed by high grade inflammatory fever, and the fear, restlessness, patient tosses in the bed, think about this remedy with profuse perspiration. Unfortunately, patient does not come in an aconite phase to us because they pass 2 or 3 days. By the time the symptoms more develops and the patient go in the other stage. Ferrum Phos, again we indicate first stages of all febrile disturbances and inflammation before the exudation sets in. First stages of inflammatory. Expectoration, profuse blood in pneumonia. Palpitation, pulse, rapid short, soft. We cannot palpate, but if when possible with gloves, you can. And the Ferrum Phos reacts, increase hemoglobin. So this rubric is very useful in old people in a very initial stage. Now, other case, mild, moderate, COVID patients, positive patients at home. This is the whole family except the husband suffer from COVID positive. Patients in Pune called me that, sir, we all three, myself, my daughter, and my mother-in-law. See the city value, mild, moderate, and heavy. 28, 27, other one is 24. 73 years old lady, mother-in-law is a 24, and then mother have a 20, and daughter has a 28, 27. Whole family symptoms video calls taken at Baroda, and we have sent the medicine same day. So next day morning they got medicines and started medicines. We have given a same medicine to all of them. Totality was suggesting same. And I told you, I had experience. The one person is suppose of arsenic in a family. The others who are getting infection may have a totality of arsenic unless there is a drastic difference in totality. So here, after that, got a message from this patient that doctor really thankful for your quick help in COVID situation. I am from Pune and we got COVID positive on 13th April. I called Dr. Ronak Shah and 14th we had talked on a video call. He took all details of our symptoms and immediately sent the medicines for headache, fever, cough, and sinus, and suggesting us to take the steam tricidate. Stimulation is very, very important. And today is our last day of quarantine. We all are fine for our family. Myself, my 18-year daughter, and my mother-in-law. We are doing well. We are doing in our housework, and we are regularly living in our life from last week. So that is a case of one remedy that I'm going to discuss after the cases, which medicine is given. So we have discussed only homeopathy will moderate. Now, homeopathy moderate another patient with the COVID patients positive, Mr. Kirby, 60 years old, who had a COVID positive, and CRP was 9, lymphocyte was low, 12, and then after the improvement, 27th again he did. The D-dimer was increased, but lymphocyte is much better. I like to tell symptoms of him. He had a headache accompanied by fever, बहुत सर दर्द हो रहा है सर, कफिंग मार रहा है, साथ में दर्द भी हो रहा है, और स्पेशली नोज में से feel hot air coming on expiration, nose obstruction during fever, taste bitter, constipation, paroxysms of toothaches, expectoration, white, fever with coldness external, continuous fever, the pain on body, and the pulse for tachycardia. These are the totalities of moderate patients treated with homeopathy at home. Repetization is done. Sulfur, phosphorus, bryonia, rustox, pulsated. You must be knowing that the remedy is bryonia. Previous whole family was given a bryonia. So I'm discussing all together where the bryonia is given. We all know that bryonia is especially used in cases of pleural pneumonia. The breathing is short, expiration shorter than inspirations. Patient wants to lie perfectly still on a painful side, as the least motion aggravates all symptoms. There is a great thirst for a large quantity of water with a dryness of mouth and lips which are dry and cracked. Patient does not want to be disturbed. This is the most important things for me. Aversion to talking with irritability, many times confirm that child who had came with 102 fever and the pediatrician wants to confirm suspected corona was also given bryonia and the patient completely all right, and then followed by sulfur. So here I have seen many patients with the irritability, doesn't want to disturb and aversion to talking, with a thirst, dryness, all the other symptoms of bryonia you know very well. So given in the stages of exudations or the second stage of the inflammatory process and given at the right time with the right potency, again very important, often finish the case. If does not complete the case but has well started toward a cure, no other remedy follows so well as sulfur, which will be often do the rest and prevent the chronic condition following. The pains of bryonia are characteristic stitching type of pain. Then next case, moderate COVID patients with diabetes and hypertension with comorbidity, again treated at home. This lady, this is also very tough. Very old lady, around about 70 age, I think so. She has given us symptoms on a phone, and unfortunately, the patient's not hearing properly. She had a problem of hearing also, and the fever was 100, taken a crocin through short coughing, then expectoration, white, watery, burning, concomitant headache, thirst normal, appetite normal. We have started bryonia. We were not sure about the prescription, to be frank. because I was not able to listen properly and she was not able to give the answers because she was not acquainted with a video consultation with her technology and she had a problem with the hearing. See, these are the practical difficulty when we are not getting symptoms, what to do. First day on 12th and the SpO2 95, 96, pulse was 75, 85 and Crocin. They used to take Crocin and the RCT was done, RCT score was done 21, RT-PCR. Third day, oxygen still remained normal. Pulse 82, 96, temperature coming regular, continuous fever, WBC was 1, leukocyte 23%, CRP 15, D-dimer 155, low grade fever, occasional coughing and decrease. So now there is no improvement, to be frank, no improvement. Fourth day, fever went up 100, 102, 102. Again, they have taken a Crocin. Fever with a hot sensation here. Thermal state was hot. Appetite reduced. Short coughing with expectoration in the morning. Nausea followed by white expectoration and coughing in the morning and stool 3 times. HRCT was done and it was a 525. So we were not happy with the treatment. Particularly myself was not happy because I was not getting correct symptomatology. They want to take only homeopathy for the COVID. Allopathy medicines are already there for diabetes and blood pressure. That we cannot stop. Fifth day, better than before, but then temperature still continue. They started. I told them, please consult physicians because I'm not happy with the totality, not happy with the management also. This is my faith. Then 6th day, 95, 97 SpO2 pulse, temperature still continue, stool watery 3 times a day, throat occasional coughing little, expectoration in the morning, appetite normal, hair is slight hot, and then homeopathy medicines was given Ars IO. Again, I'm not happy with my prescriptions. It is not a correct prescription, otherwise she will be improving. 8th day, SpO2 is 95, 96. Pulse, temperature still continue in a high grade fever, appetite reduced, thirst normal, occasional coughing, nausea by expectoration in the morning, weakness and stool 2 to 3 times. I changed prescription and then given Ipecac 204 hourly. 9th day, saturation 95, 96, okay. Temperature still continue, fever is in the morning, throat occasional coughing, nausea followed by little expectoration, nose, appetite reduced, thirst normal. Still we continue same Ipecac. 10th day, 97 pulse, temperature 90, general feeling of well-being. Her granddaughter is a homeopath, so she told me that my grandmother is feeling better. Appetite improved. She has started eating. So that was a good thing for me. I told now it doesn't require to change prescriptions, whatever they take the medicines. But they have started allopathy medicine, to be frank. They have given, I think, but antibiotics has no role, even though they have given erythromycin. And then recovery started. The 12th day, she was completely better. The 13th day, she had no problems. So this was a case with allopathy and homeopathy to combine, but Ipecac they play a major role. That I want to share with you. And there was a failure on the first 2 prescription on my side. So we have discussed mild, moderate at home with a comorbidity. Now the most important is severe cases at hospital with homeopathy and allopathy. Then ICU patients with homeopathy. This is a case of lady with hypertension. Came to me on the 10th, contact with on 10th April with RT-PCR positives. And then she had a fever from so many days, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. She had already taken erythromycin allopathy medicines and then dolo as on as requirement. Fever was continued since last 4 days. And she has given me totality during fever, stage 101 fever with profuse perspiration and burning in whole body, especially palms, desire fan during fever, mouth, thirst, warm water, appetite decrease in last night, and taste impaired. This was a fourth or fifth day, we can say. And the coughing on a deep inspiration stood 1 or 2 times. CRP was again, I had already done my own self, 34. Indeed, I am at 286. No, I have already told on the 10th, you go and do your blood test. Arsenic alb was given and Justicia Q given every 8 hourly. CT score was very high, 1890. 12th, fever 100. In the afternoon, hot feeling, burning, and warm span, and air condition. Throat coughing on talking, while talking also. Every day we used to call, every day. This is the most important thing we have to do. We have to keep the data. We have to take the everyday patients. Sometimes patients may not call you. Then your responsibility to call and take the follow-ups properly. So thirst increase for warm water, mouth dryness, appetite satisfactory, general sense of well-being is there. And she had a weakness and tiredness. Investigations means whatever we can do. SpO2 96 plus 85. We have continued seeing. 13th. Now listen, what I did a mistake also. And so many homeopaths does mistakes. So it is not like that. No fever. Or you will be very happy. Okay. Again, the time will be running out after 10 minutes. Again, you have to rejoin. So no fever, appetite is improved, mouth, extreme dryness, thirst increase, so no coughing, no smell return. See, no smell return, no fever, appetite improved, generals are improved. But respiration, mild breathlessness is there, and SpO2 is reduced. 93 to 94%. It was a 95, 96 was remaining generally. And then mind became very much anxious. And we have done investigation, lympho, cell lower side, CRP 20. It is reduced, CRP is reduced. D-dimer is 160, LGBT 51, and the HRCT was also done 12 by 25. I continue bryonia every 8 hours because generals are improved, and that's why I have changed the prescription, which was arsenic alb, and I have changed the prescription. Where I did a mistake, I should not change a prescription. I should continue with the arsenic alb, or I have to increase the potency of 1 m. But somehow it is in our mind that dryness, coughing, and all that thing, and thirst is increased. I did a mistake. What happened? Oxygen is reduced, became more anxious, more panic. And I forced her to hospitalize. She was not willing to hospitalize, but I have to force her because I didn't have that facility. In Organon, aphorism 63 footnote, our master has also told that if the patient's vital force is deranged too much, then auxiliary measures should be taken. He has not written allopathy, but auxiliary measure. So in those days, the drowning patient was that they used to take. So oxygen situation is low and the patient is going in a critical conditions. You have to admit your patients. Where I cannot stick to my principles, it requires oxygen. So patient hospitalized, but once the patient hospitalized, your freedom will go. You have to rely on them. their norms and regulations are there. They will give their pathy, their medicines, even though you say no. She was hospitalized, breathlessness on exertion with occasional cough, and the mouth and lips were dry, stool constipation, it had good, general, no fever, but feeling fresh because of it. Still the O2 was 92-93 with intermittent of 2 to 3 liters. CRP has reduced, but D-dimer has increased and creatine and HB has 13. We have continued Bryonia only. Here also I would have changed the prescriptions, but made a mistake and continue with the Bryonia only. And then on 20, again on 20 April, much better. No fever, no breathlessness, no coughing and bradycardia. We have continued the same medicines. She has given a steroids. She has given a heparin, and then no antibiotics was given. That was a restriction, and the remdesivir was only one given. There was no remdesivir over there. So that was bad. On 20th, she was discharged with a great weakness while going for washroom and revision on physical exertion, respiration, no cough, mild, does not want to talk still. There, little. But appetite satisfactory, stool regular, mouth dryness. Advised to do respiratory. O2 is increased and pulse. Then I had given a natrum salicylicum 30 every 6 hours and ferrum for 6x or 12 hours. If you see the rubric, I will discuss afterwards. Natrum salicylicum I have used many times, which helps to recover the patients in a post-COVID. So this was a case where I did a mistakes. Otherwise, I would have treated this patient at home only with only homeopathy. But because of my negligence, not negligence, you can say lack of knowledge, whatever it is, or wrong prescriptions or mistakes, the patient has to go and hospitalize. I feel so that I feel guilt about that also. So then, homeopathic physicians facing challenges in treating COVID patients in ICU. That is the most important. So many doctors and physicians are asking that how we should treat such patients. And you all people are right. Why? Because it's difficult to get the subjective symptoms. Patients, if on a BiPAP, they will not allow to speak. So they will not get administration of medicine to the patient from time to time also not possible. See, recently, day before yesterday, one of the pharmacists of Baroda, who has a 3-4 stores in Baroda, homeopathic pharmacy stores, supplies the homeopathy, we can say whole Baroda, whose son was a high-grade fever since like 4-5 days, and then he had been to the physician and he admitted in a physician hospital. Then the physician is told bluntly that I will not allow homeopathy medicine till he recovers. See, we don't have oxygen, we don't have other facilities, and the doctor has said no. In spite of he has so many contacts. So this is another very important things we are facing in a COVID patients who are in ICU, not able to get a regular follow-ups. That is the most important thing. So though many people are presenting their patients, ICU patients, I am very much doubtful that every 12 hourly will you able to get the follow-ups regularly. If you are not getting, please admit. Because I face in multi-specialist hospitals, even though management know me, also they have told that we will not give, we don't have time that much that every 12 hourly somebody should give follow-ups of your patients. Actually, he is not your patient because he is under somebody who is taking care, physician is taking care, or infectious person or pulmonologist is taking care. So even though you have a relation with the pulmonologist and they allow homeopathy, but they will not give follow. So by the time the symptoms changes, So whatever data we have to satisfy with that, and then accordingly we have to give the medicines. And we cannot take the credits completely, because auxiliary measures are very important and that they are providing. So many times not getting support from nurses staff and treating allopathic physician for giving our medicines. नर्सिंग स्टाफ को अभी एक पेशेंट को जस्ट लास्ट वीक संडे को पाइपेट पे था 16 दिन से, and we take the symptoms from the relatives, whatever the limited data we have taken, and we have called the nurse that will you able to show the patient. She tell नहीं, उनकी जो नर्स है वो तो चली गई, अभी कोई नर्स नहीं, अभी तो मैं देख रही हूँ, मेरे पास इतना टाइम नहीं है. See, such type of practical difficulty we are facing every day. So where we can help the patients in COVID, patients in ICU, पाइपेप पे निकाल के पूरा ट्यूब डाल के दवाई देते हैं, और वो भी दवाई कितना रेगुलर देती है किसको मालूम, because the staffs are changing very frequently. Nobody is taking responsibility. Nobody has a time. One homeopath, I will tell you, one other very good friend of mine, homeopath, who was on a BiPAP since last 15 days in one of the best hospital. I just asked my assistant to go because he is working in a COVID ward. Just want to talk with him. I had a talk with him and I told him, will you take homeopathy medicines if I will prescribe you? He said, from Ishara, no, no. So they are so much pressure, and they are acquainted with the systems and methods and management restriction. We are not allowed freely to treat patients. If they allow us to go and visit, we could do better. But this is the helplessness we are facing. That is the challenges I like to share with you. And I am sure all homeopaths are facing this. We are going to discuss about severe cases in ICU. Whenever you get chance, surely we have to help. We cannot say that we cannot. So this is the case of one of my friend homeopaths, brother. In a first wave, in the month of August 2020, he was hospitalized in one of the most reputed hospital of Vadodara. She has contacted me after a few days that my brother in a hospital, 38 years old, and a fever since last 4 days, headache, severe headache, frontal headache, coughing loose and short, expectorations, white, aversion to fan, perspirations increase, thirst increase with the dryness of mouth, O2 level 95, 99, white coated tongue, tasteless. He had talked with me. We had a video. Investigations, what he has sent to me, 11 grams HB, lymphocyte 25, CRP 16, creatine 0.74, LDH 165. Belladonna was given by me. On 6th, again the fever was 100, 101. So that was a wrong prescription. Whatever the allopathy they were giving, in those days they have tried remdesivir also, talcizum also, whatever the available, and they have given to him. Breathlessness, does not want to talk to anyone. When we had talked, he told me that. Headache and dryness. So that was again symptoms for Bragania 3 hourly. We have started. On 7th, patient was started oxygen. O2 level was reduced. So definitely Bragania has also not helped. Maybe, I am not sure whether they have given a 3 hourly, but patient has told me that I used to take myself, पाइप को निकाल के मैं लेता था, सब बोल रहा था. Then 7th of O2 was 4 to 5 liters, fever was coughing, and he told me this, sir, मुझे खून आया, breathlessness on exertion, a lot of fear and anxiety developed, what about to happen to me. So that was symptoms from patients. I got it. I started phosphorus 200 and he had a lot of breathlessness, even a bathroom जाने से भी उसको तकलीफ हो रही थी. Young guy, I started Aspidosperma Q4 only last year. On 8th, he was feeling much better. We had a talk on a patient video call. He was looking very fresh, talked properly. No fever, no coughing. And O2 requirement also reduced. I was very sure about this medicine because the totality is also matching and the prescription was also good. And we have continued 4 hourly. On 12th, respiration, mild coughing, well, expectorations, appetite normal, O2 94 without requirement. Mild headache, it continues same, and the discharge is taken on 14th August, 15th. We were very happy Independence Day with him. And 17th he told me, sir, अभी तो बहुत अच्छा है, मगर खफिंग आती है थोड़ी, वो भी सुबह में मॉर्निंग ब्रश करने के टाइम. वर्टिगो है, हेडेक है, एपिटाइट नॉर्मल, स्लीप थर्स्ट नॉर्मल, फोकस कैक्टाई 36 hourly was given and just he said. So that was a case well with phosphorus and Aspidosperma. Now we will learn phosphorus. Inflammation of lungs, last stage. Phosphorus is one of the remedy. In Tintar, in pneumoctasis is there. And the curve from tickling, worse from cold air, reading, laughing, talking, all this you know very well, from warm room to cold air. Pneumonia with heaviness, just lying on the left side. Worse lying on the left side, blood color was sputum, rusty blood color, prolonged, repeated hemostasis and thirst for cold water, violent palpitation with anxiety. Typical case of phosphorus. Now, how to differentiate bryonia and phosphorus in COVID? Very, very, very important. Bryonia patients are more toxic and slightly cyanotic. Phosphorus pneumonia patient is more anxious. So this is the difference between anxiousness and toxicity. Flushed and not cyanotic. Phosphorus is not cyanotic. They dislike to be disturbed. As I told you, this is the most important totality. Usually we have a very painful cough, pain in the chest, which is relieved by pressure, either lying on affected side or by holding side when coughing. Phosphorus dislikes any pressure on affected area and tend to lie on unaffected side. That you have to observe, or you have to ask directly when the patient is not able to tell. Patient have a white coated tongue and thirsty for large cold water. Here, do not have coated tongue as a thirsty as a bryonia patient, but desire for ice cold drinks more. I had one patient, lady of 75 years old, was telling me, sir, मुझको बहुत ठंडा पानी पीना है, बहुत ठंडा पानी पीना है. मुझे ठंडा पानी का ही मन रहा है और मुझे ब्रेथलेसनेस होती है एक्सर्शन पे, बाथरूम जाने के टाइम पे. And given a phosphorus 1 m directly. The lady, 74 or 75 years old, with a comorbidity, and that she recovered with phosphorus. So differentiations sometimes very, very difficult in a panic situation because you are also stressful. When the patient have a lot of faith in you, you have to show your ability. And that is why so many students and doctors were behind me, sir, why don't you share your experience COVID? But I was not sure last year. I was not treating so many cases. In this year, we have so many patients. So unless and until I am not sure about what I did, there was so many mistakes done by me, then why? How I can share with you? So bryonia, again, it does not matter which lung is involved. Probably more commonly we know that is a right, but equally for a left-sided pneumonia. While phosphorus does not matter what area of the lungs are involved. Please read borderline pneumonia. Although it's probably more commonly in the lower lobe, and that is involved phosphorus, lower lobe. So you have to see in a confirm with HRCT chest also, with the lower lobe is there and the certain symptoms of phosphorus, you should try phosphorus. Read NASH Nash has given also very nice in a phosphorus pneumonia. So Bryonia has a developed rather very slowly phosphorus pneumonia acutely, quickly develop. This is a differentiation. Now the last is a post-COVID complications at home. Only with homeopathy we can treat. So we have mild, moderate, severe. Now the post-COVID. Post-COVID cases syndrome, generally we have as patients mild, more symptoms. You may get a combinations of following symptoms, so many. Sometimes you have get a headache, some fatigue, loss of sense, dizziness, chest pain, cough, joint pain, depressions, and fever. So many things you will get. Also combinations. Okay. Who are getting more post-COVID complications? Persons who are above 50 and who has a very severe attack of COVID. And the individual with underlying health conditions, particularly cardiopulmonary issues, hypertension, diabetes, or obesity. Here, homeopathy has more scope. So I request to all the beginners or those who have no experience with the COVID patients should focus on this. This will also good for the patient and good health for the patients. When I didn't have that much experience, I used to do these things. Here you can do much better. And these are mental health problems are so many nowadays, phobias, fears, and all that. Now here few rubrics I am using in my practice and reconfirm. Never wells means influenza. Gelsemium is one of the remedy. We have more discussion on gelsemium. Another weakness after is I had one student, doctor, who had a COVID last year, was hospitalized for a few days, taken a remdesivir and everything, whatever in last year. And then she called me, sir, lot of weakness, sir. Even I don't want to get up also, do anything. So there are stand on mat, weakness from talking and so many. But weakness here after influenza, natrum salicylate 3 months given. She was the first patient last year I have given natrum salicylate on this indication. And she called me after 4 days, sir. The other doctors also, other assistants also, she called, sir, what happened? Within 4 days, I was improved like anything. I have a lot of energy. I have joined my duty also. So that is natrum salicylate 30, you can try. Sarcolactic acid, again, it is one of the best remedy. When the arsenic fail, you should, when the mark prostration is there, spinal neurasthenia, muscular weakness, dyspnea with myocardial weakness. Again, low potency. Another very important rubric, influenza accompanied by bone pain. Patients को bone pain बहुत होता है. अच्छा हो जाने के बाद, hepatoria very common. But when SGPTI, the appetite is less, give Cardus marinus in mother tincture. In mother tincture. And we give Cardus marinus many liver problems. So that is another, only 1 mark medicine is given. See, these are the small rubrics we miss many times, and that is really helping in such post-COVID cases when you don't have. Best is constitutional if you are getting, but sometimes you should give this medicine and then improve fast, and then after you can go for constitutional or miasmatic medicine. Then antimonias, my own uncle who had a COVID, he didn't have any symptoms. Pleurisy was not there, but catral pneumonia, only by influenza, we have given antimonias, lower potency. Iberis, again, palpitation of heart, you can give Iberis in low potency. Cardiac debility after influenza. Vertigo with palpitation. Pulse is irregular and full. Palpitations on smallest amount of exertion, you can give after. Avena sativa, superb result. Sleeplessness is very, very common Maybe because of fear, maybe because of fight, maybe so many things, exhaustions is there. So it corrects the sleeping disorders and promotes better sleep in mother tincture. And Eclepis tuberosa, more on the chest muscles. One lady had a pain on the chest on the left side. Eclepis tuberosa is given in our trust patients. Then antimony tar, no doubt. Antimony tar is one of the best remedy in complications also. So great rattling many times after pneumonia. The patient is not recovered and the cough आता है अभी भी cough बोलता है chest में. Even lower potency. Without drowsiness is most important. Debility and drowsiness and sweat is important indication. You can check my Antim Tar YouTube lecture also. A request to all of you, if you want to learn Materia Medica, you can join my YouTube channel also. Then natrum sulph, again delay resolution in pneumonia, constant desire to take breath, long breath, dyspnea in the damp weather, we all know that. Rattling 2 to 5 am, cough with tropic greenish expectoration, natrum sulph. Then China, weakness from loss of fluids, influenza with debilities, cannot breathe with the head low, dyspnea with a sharp pain in left lung. Periodicity is marked, sensitive to drafts, seldom indicated early stages of the acute disease. China, weakness. Aspidosperma, oh my God, so many people behind you also, right? Aspidosperma लाओ सर, हमको नहीं जाना है हॉस्पिटल में ऑक्सीजन ढूंढने के लिए. Aspidosperma. I have kept a note also, and so many also. CCHS also told me, without indication, without consulting doctor, you can't. So it is a digitalis of the lungs. I have given that boy who was an ICU. Stimulate the respiratory centers and increase the oxygen in blood. It's not a replacement of oxygen. Increase oxidations and excretion in carbonic acid. Want of breathe is the most important during exertion in a guiding symptom. That lady who was hospitalized by me, at that time she was also telling that symptoms, and I missed that symptom. I didn't give Aspidosperma. Otherwise, arsenic one and with Aspidosperma, if I would have given, I would have saved her to hospitalize. So these things will happen. We have to admit our mistakes. So vanadium metallicum, again degenerative disease and heart-like thickening of arteries and hypertension, increased amount of hemoglobin, profound weakness. It's a good remedy for the increased hemoglobin also. HP is low, you can give. Veratrum viridi, again these are all are very important remedy in the later stage of pneumonia, where you get chance, you may not get chance. With the nausea, vomiting, hyper in the evening, therapy in the morning. Zigzag fever, fever in the zigzag, it goes like that way. And the pulse rapid potential. Iodine, very important, right-sided pneumonia with a high temperature. Here also I would like to share one of the just my relative day before yesterday, the young lady, we can say young because of 45 years old, she had a coughing continuously with a COVID positive, fever. Just when I called, video consultation we had done, she told me, I like to get up from bed and to do some work. I was thinking arsenic. But then as soon as she told me that, I wanted to do this thing, activity, desire, the high temperature with a coughing in a warm room, confirm iodine. And given iodine, let us see what happened, because just 2 days before, and tachycardia is there, palpitation is there. These are all iodine symptoms. Carbovage, again, very good remedy and very good rubrics. The oxygen in the blood of the never well. So those who patients are hospitalized and then oxygen was less, given kept on a ventilator and then coming back and not recovered, you can think, or definitely if you get chance in an ICU, this remedy is also helps, provided you should get chance and totality should be matches. Nosodes we are using influoxetine, tuberculinum, pyrogenum, and soranum. Influenza, generally those who have one person in the family is suffering COVID and the remaining has to be protected on prophylactic basis. We give influenza 200 and then followed by, if the constitutional remedy is there, patient is taking your medicine, then definitely that you should try. So no source, it's a routine for epidemics, but it does not all the time help. Why? Because in those days the virus was a different mutations. Today is a mutation, double mutations and different. So many times influenza is not working. That does not mean it is not a remedy for influenza. So, right? So COVID patients require, you can give to other family members for prevention. Tuberculinum, chest inflammation, lungs after influenza. Those who have recurrent cough and cold, ringworms, tendency is there, or patient is already taking homeopathy, bronchopneumonia, dry heart, taking up profuse sweating, loss of weight, weakness after influenza, try this remedy also. Pyrogenum is a great remedy for a septic states with intense restlessness, with septic condition is there. Great pain with violent burning, abscess, palpitations, pulse abnormal. Again, you know, temperature and pulse is disproportionate. You can, and the face has become very much toxic. Septic condition, WBC count is also sometimes high. You can give septic conditions. Sweating does not cause fall in temperature. Soranum, extreme sensitive to cold, debility during influenza. If the psoric phase is there, so that is a different lecture, stage-wise miasms, understanding, and you can think. But here, you don't have that much time. You require quick. You have to be. Because sometimes in every 12 hours or 24 hours, you have to change the prescription. I don't believe in a one single medicines for just infrequent doses, 1 or 2 doses, and wait and watch and see the reaction. I don't believe in this situation. We should do that. This is my personal perception and observations. I may differ. I may defer my management and treatment with others, those who are working in, especially Maharashtra people, our colleagues, Bombay doctors are working day and night. I can see in the groups, they are discussing, they are treating like anything, they're working very dedicatedly. But every area, every physician has his own ability and own understanding and experience. But whatever I have shared today is my failures also and my success. Gradually now, I have kept myself on that path that now I can manage COVID patients very well. We can say at least mild to moderate cases, but severe cases, still again, you have to rely on other pathy. Here we are not compete with any pathy. We definitely want their help also. ऑक्सीजन नहीं है तो हम क्या करेंगे? हमारे पास क्या है कि हम ऑक्सीजन दें? तो वहां जाने के बाद वो लोग सुनते नहीं है हमारी. They want to give their protocol के हिसाब से दवाई देनी ही पड़े. I told you, no, that pharmacist person whose son he wanted to give homeopathy, but he told them, then you take your son to other hospital. So that is not possible. Be practical. We have to accept that things that if I get a heart attack, definitely I will go to the ICU and consult cardiologist. I cannot wait for my homeopath to come and I will analyze my symptoms and take the medicine. Not possible. So Hahnemann has also told that auxiliary measures or methods should be given when vital force is deranged too much. So don't feel like that, shy, or don't feel in fear that we have to take the help. All right. So here I would like to get the comments, critiques from all of you in a chat box or in a direct on a WhatsApp messages. I will really happy that how you feel today, not just appreciation or it was nice or good. Give me detailed comments so I can do in that direction where I did also mistakes and what you are doing with your patients, those who have experience with the COVID. I want to upgrade myself, right? So please don't take it like, oh, okay, chalo webinar ho gaya khatam. We have to analyze. I told you many times after failure we have to find out what was the reasons that of our failures. That way we can learn more. Okay, so now what a message to take today from me, that timely appropriate investigations, clinical pathologic corrections, my cases after silent phase can suddenly have a rapid progressions. That lady, that type of many patients also, we were very happy. Oh, third day, fourth day, patients are all right. Oh, no fever, feeling better, good. But the mild again suddenly relapse. So you have to monitor for 14 days, regular follow-ups with data. Again, I'm telling you, it's very tough to keep the data regular follow-ups without your help of your assistant or your team. Today's the presentations is done by my wife, working for last 15 days to making this. Otherwise, it's not possible for me. You have think, but everything is to synchronize and you have to present nicely, then you will enjoy. So accurate assessment of susceptibility is very important. Selection of the acute remedies on it QRS. See that sanguinaria, the hopeful for recovery, was a new thing for me. First time I have used in this type of symptom. After finishing acute phase, give constitutional and miasmatic remedy. Acute phase, frequent repetition. Again, I'm telling you, most common potency using 30 and 200. Treatment to be continued at least 7 days after last symptoms disappear. कोविड हो गया, खत्म हो गया, फिर पेशेंट अच्छा हो गया, नहीं. आपको ट्रीटमेंट जो भी लास्ट 14 डे का जो सिम्टम, उसके साथ 7 डेज तक भी ट्रीटमेंट चालू रखना चाहिए परमानेंट पेशेंट अच्छा करने के लिए और लॉन्ग टर्म अच्छा. So I hope you have taken a message today, and I'm very much thankful to all of you for listening me and have a patience with me and bearing with me. Those who want to learn more Materia Medica can join my YouTube channel and Facebook, Insta, everything. And now the questions I can, you can unmute yourself of any questions you can ask, or you can ask in the chat box also. Thank you very much for listening once again.